What is going on in the NFL right now? This week has been packed with storylines that have fans buzzing from coast to coast. We've got a quarterback injury that could shake up one of the most powerful college football programs. A rookie wide receiver turning heads in a way nobody expected. One of the most explosive young receivers in the league suddenly surrounded by trade rumors, and a Steelers legend opening up about the emotional weight of his final season. There's drama, redemption, conspiracy, and a dose of brutal honesty, all in one video. So buckle up, hit that like button, and subscribe if you want to stay on top of everything shaking up the football world. Let's kick things off with the developing situation at Ohio State, where quarterback Will Howard, yes, the transfer from Kansas State who was expected to bring calm to the Buckeye offense, is already dealing with what appears to be a lower body injury just days into fall camp. Now, the Ohio State coaching staff isn't saying much publicly. They're playing it close to the chest, as they always do, but multiple sources close to the program have hinted that Howard has been seen limping during light drills and hasn't participated in some of the full-speed scrimmages this week. That's not a great sign. Howard was brought in for a very specific purpose: to give the Buckeyes a veteran signal caller who can manage the game, push the ball when needed, and serve as a transitional leader while the younger QBs on the roster, guys like Julian Sayin and Devin Brown, continue to develop. He was supposed to be the answer to the chaos we saw last season, but now the answer might already be on thin ice. If this injury limits Howard for any extended period, or worse, if it lingers into the season, Ryan Day could find himself facing a situation no coach wants, deciding between rushing back a hobbled quarterback or turning to untested talent during a high-pressure stretch of games. And we're not talking about just any games. There's a marquee matchup with Oregon coming up early in the season, and the Big Ten gauntlet is no joke this year. The Buckeyes simply can't afford uncertainty at the quarterback position. There's a very real chance that this storyline could define Ohio State's entire 2025 campaign. So while fans are hoping this is just a precautionary rest situation, the reality is, the silence from the team is making people nervous. And that's not without reason. While we're talking about quarterbacks and wide receivers, let's shift the focus to a player who's not limping. He's sprinting into headlines. Roman Wilson, the Michigan product drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, is not just showing promise. He's looking like the breakout rookie nobody saw coming. If you've been following Steelers training camp even loosely, you've probably heard the name Roman Wilson pop up more and more. He's drawing rave reviews from coaches, teammates, and even fans attending open practices. What's making Roman stand out? It's not just the hands or the speed, it's his footwork, route precision, and most impressively, his immediate chemistry with both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. That chemistry is especially important considering the Steelers haven't named a starter yet. Whether it's Russ or Fields taking snaps in Week 1, they're both clearly already looking in Roman's direction during key drills. That's not just hype, that's trust being built. And when you combine trust with talent, that's when rookies break out. People forget that at Michigan, Roman Wilson didn't always get the chance to show off what he could do. J.J. McCarthy was efficient, but the Wolverines ran a conservative, run-first offense. Now that Wilson's in the pros and getting more targets, he's finally flashing the full toolbox: the elite separation, the body control, and yes, the top-end speed that lets him burn past defenders. There's already a viral camp clip making the rounds, Roman absolutely torching Joey Porter Jr. on a deep post route. That wasn't just a highlight, that was a statement, and it's got people inside the Steelers building wondering if he might not just earn snaps this year, but actually become a WR2 option by mid-season. That's a massive leap, but Wilson is making it look easy. His bounce back from draft day doubts is one of the feel-good stories of the offseason. If he keeps this up, he could be one of the biggest rookie surprises of the year. But not every wide receiver in Pittsburgh is riding that same wave. Let's talk about George Pickens. Over the past week, rumors have exploded suggesting that Pickens might be on the trade block. And this isn't just smoke from random accounts. There's been a flurry of social media activity, Pickens reportedly unfollowing the Steelers on Instagram, removing team-related posts, and posting vague quotes that scream, "Something's up." Combine that with some tension that's been building since last season, and you've got the perfect recipe for trade speculation. Of course, the Steelers aren't confirming anything. In fact, the organization has been downplaying the talk entirely. But the NFL rumor mill doesn't stop, and this one feels different. Pickens is one of the most physically gifted receivers in the league. His ability to win contested catches and make jaw-dropping plays is undeniable, but he's also known for having a fiery personality, and not everyone thinks that's meshing well with the new-look Steelers offense led by Russell Wilson. Let's not forget, Russ is a structured, timing-based quarterback. He thrives on discipline and timing routes. Pickens, on the other hand, often freelances and thrives in chaos. That's not a seamless fit. There's a theory floating around that the Steelers are intentionally staying quiet in order to increase Pickens' trade value. That maybe they're testing the waters behind the scenes, talking to teams who are receiver needy but want to keep things low-key. The Jets, Panthers, and Patriots have all been mentioned in hushed tones as possible suitors. But then there's another angle, and this one's spicy. What if it's Pickens who's creating the noise? What if he's unhappy with his contract situation now that he's poised to become WR1 following Deontay Johnson's departure? If Pickens thinks he deserves a new deal, and he might, stirring the pot could be his way of applying pressure. Whatever the truth is, this feels like a situation that could explode before week 1. If Pickens isn't traded, will he be all in? Or will there be tension in the locker room that derails team chemistry? Steelers fans better hope this resolves quickly, because they can't afford drama when they're trying to stabilize the quarterback position and build momentum. Speaking of the Steelers, let's end with a powerful reflection from a Pittsburgh legend. Ben Roethlisberger recently sat down for a candid podcast interview and finally opened up about his final season in the NFL. And what he shared was surprisingly raw, emotional, and even a little heartbreaking. Big Ben admitted that his final year, 2021, was one of the toughest of his career, not because of physical pain, but because of how alone he felt. He said, "It felt like they were ready to move on before I was." That hits hard. From the outside, it looked like Ben was getting the perfect send-off. The final home game with fans cheering, the playoff exit, the farewell pressers. But behind the curtain, it was a different story. He felt like the organization had already turned the page, already started planning for life without him. He talked about how the offense was simplified, mostly to protect his aging arm, but how that also limited his ability to really lead and execute the way he wanted to. He understood it was time, physically, but mentally, emotionally, he believed he still had more to give. That kind of vulnerability is rare in pro athletes, especially quarterbacks who have spent their careers being symbols of toughness. Ben said, "I knew I was done physically, but I still had more to give emotionally and mentally." That quote tells you everything you need to know about the toll that final season took. And it also sheds new light on how hard it can be for legendary players to walk away, especially when they feel the doors closing on them, not because of performance, but because of the team's future vision. Whether you loved or hated Big Ben during his playing days, one thing is clear. The guy left it all on the field. And hearing him finally talk about the emotional side of retirement, that just adds a whole new layer of respect. What a week of football news. From Will Howard's injury concerns, to Roman Wilson's rise, to the George Pickens mystery, and the emotional reflections of a legend. These stories remind us that football is more than just touchdowns and stats. It's drama, it's pressure, it's heart, and it's humanity. And we're just getting started. So let's hear from you. Drop a comment below. Will Howard bounce back in time for week 1? Is Roman Wilson the sleeper rookie of 2025? Is George Pickens on the move? Or playing games? And did the Steelers handle Big Ben's final chapter with the respect it deserved? Be sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a drop. We've got new episodes every week bringing you the real stories behind the headlines, the ones that matter to fans like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.